G'day guys, Josh here. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Okay. So for my first previous video about, gold making and stuff like that with the Abyss Dungeons and getting also 1370, I decided to go full blown on how you make gold. Okay, in Lost Ark, there's a lot of ways. It requires a lot of time, obviously, so if you don't have the time, then you mainly have a few gold sources, and that's that. Sometimes people don't have the time. Like even myself, for example, okay, I don't have the time sometimes, to do all of that. Like this week was a one-off where I could get all my stuff done. Now, the main thing is, importantly as well, before we even start all of this, okay, make sure you're in a guild, or make sure you have some friends as well to help out with the carries in certain areas, so specifically for Abyss Dungeons, Abyss Raids, because at 3070 you can go the full mile to get 2.7k from Argos, running at 800. And also for Valtan and Vykas as well, if you need carries, that is. But be aware of that. It was also as well for the Abyss Dungeons as well, because Abyss Dungeons can be a bit hard at 1370. And, to get the 900 and 1300 gold, you want to make that a lot quicker. And that will help you out quite a bit. But that's just the tips and tricks. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes on why we're here is, how do you make gold? Okay, how do you make gold in Lost Ark, okay? So first of all, you got Chaos Dungeons. Let's go through the ones that are just like, oh, okay, Josh, super easy to know. Chaos Dungeons, you can get gold portals, which give you about like 100 gold at tier 3, 1370. Give a bit more higher up, you can get 200 gold from it as well. But pocket change, basically, okay? Pocket change. Now you got red portals, and as well, that gives a lot of gear and gives a bit of gold inside as well. And also you can get lucky drops at that tier. So for example, if you're at relic tier, you get like say a +5 grudge and a +3 cursed stole with specialization. You've just made 80 grand pretty much, okay? But that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that you can make easy money like that. And also you can get Q keys and boss rush keys as well, which we'll touch on later. Guardian raids, you get BOE leap stones, which you can say sell in the auction house, which aren't very profitable anymore. 35G for a greater honor leap stone isn't that great. And also you can get engravings and also lucky drops, as I said before, with Chaos Dungeons. Next up, we're going to talk about Abyss Dungeons. Abyss Dungeons, you can get engravings, okay? Legendary and purple engravings. If you get legendary, like say, Reflux, it's RNG though, but if you get a good gold engraving book, it is top notch. You can also get, a lot of other gold from the run itself. You get 900 gold from Era's Oculus and 1,300 from the Eraser Pravaza. However, after your 14-15, you get no gold from it, but you still get the books and you still get the drops, okay? You also get some greater honor leap stones from the Fingo, but they're BOP, and also you can get trading cards as well, but they make no money because, yeah, they're BOP as well. But mainly you get 2,200 gold overall from the dungeon, and if you get any good drops for people at that tier, all the better. Next up is the Abyss Raid. You got Argos. So Argos gives 800 gold, 900 gold, and 1k gold for all the phases. So if you get a free bus from a guild or anything like that, you get 2,700 gold, especially very valuable to a person who's at 1370 eye level. So it's very, very important. Now, if you're doing phase 1, you get 800 gold in the Bloods. When you're at 1370, I highly encourage you to buy the bonus chest of the Argos Bloods. With Aurora Pravaza and the Abyss Dungeons, don't, because you don't have to buy a weapon and that's it. Once you've got everything, your weapon, your armor, then you don't have to buy the chest at all and enjoy the gold, basically. If you can get a bus at 1370, as I said before, with your guild members, you can just basically style through this very, very quickly and get a quick 2.7k gold from Argos and to get a good 2.2k gold and generate 4.9k gold per week. And this is the importance of having a guild that's more of a community base and more helping everyone else out at the same time. However, some guildies may want to run an Argos bus instead, where they get, an extra 2k and an extra 2.7k on everyone. So if you make a deal where you help your guildies out and you help your guildies out, it'll be much better, okay? Because overall, everyone will get the gold, okay? As per se, and everyone will get, let's just say, you're going to really sell it to them to get 1.9k extra gold if they help you out and you help them out. The main thing is you got to make sure you be able to run an Argos bus to begin with, which is basically what a lot of people will be doing. If you're a support, it is likely that you can get the 2.7k quite easily, because a lot of groups will pick up 1385 or 1370 supports when they're trying to do phase 3, because supports don't do damage to begin with, okay? They only shield, heal, and buff up people. Next up is going to be the Legion raids. So Legion raids, basically when you hit 14-15, if you're not 14-15, don't worry about it. If your main's above 14-15, then this is where you worry about it. Valtan normal gives about 3.3k, so make sure you do your Valtan normals if you need to. Vykas normal gives about 3.3k as well, and this is mainly for your ult. So if you get an ult to 1430, you get about 6.6k plus the 2.7k from Argos. You get a lot of gold, basically. You get about 10k gold per week from that on your ults, okay? Obviously, your main shouldn't be doing this. Your main should be trying to do the harder modes, okay? If your main's above 1430, of course. At 1445, you get Valtan hard mode, where you get an extra 1.2k, so you get 4.5k overall. And then at 1460, you get Vykas, which is 4.5k. So overall, we had the gold planner last time as well in the thing. You can watch a previous video for that. And overall, with the gold making here, is that you want to get your alts to 1430, as I discussed before. And you'll generate a lot, per week. You'll generate Argos gold, you generate the 6.6k, and you'll generate about 9.3k gold a week. However, of course, you can wipe on these boss fights. Okay, these boss fights, some of them can have people who are not skilled, or, wipe and ghost phase, or alternatively with Vykas phase 3 and phase 2, due to people not doing the mechanics properly. So be aware, a guild is very highly preferable, especially one that runs alt runs. Next up is Adventure Islands. And the only Adventure Island that gives gold, I believe, is the... there's a few of them. They're random, and they'll show you that they give gold. You should go to those islands. Fenwing Island, I know, does give gold. And I think it's Azura, and some of the PvP islands also give gold as well. Keep an eye out on your Procon's compass on which ones give gold, and go to those ones, okay? If you want to generate gold, that is. Generally, they give about 150 to 200 gold, so if you miss them, it's not too important, okay? Not too important at all. Next up is the islands one-off. There are a lot of islands as a one-off quest chain, and I'm just going to read off the list for you guys as well, that give gold. Okay, that's Awana, Azura, Blackfang, Dreamgull, Eternity, Glacier, Gravis, Hope, Lopang, Lullaby, Notos, Pato, Phantomwing, Reverie Row, Runaways, Scarred, Shadow Moon, Snowpang, Sublime, Sunflower, Tuki Corporation. Tuki Corporation gives about 1.8 gold, by the way, with their quest chain. Totopia, Unknown, Valpurchase, White Wave, and Woeful Drylands. Be aware that a lot of the ones that sound like Guardian Islands and stuff like that, those only give gold with their Guardian Raid chain. So if you haven't done the Guardian Raid chain for all those islands, you're not getting any of the gold. So be aware of that as well. So basically, the Guardian Raid chain is that you go through the first boss, which I think is Lumerous, and you go all the way to the current boss, which is like Descaluda and stuff like that as well. So be aware of that, okay? Be aware of that, okay? Talking about the Guardian Raid chain, there's also to challenge Guardian Raids. You can get a lot of leap stones off it. You can also get the accessories off it. You can also get the ability stones, which you can potentially sell on market. And you get some engravings, but just use them to advance your own engravings. They won't sell too much on market anyway. That's like a pittance. The Great Island leap stones, you get about 45 of them. I'd say, I guess it's a 1k gold, so kick in the shin. It's not really, kick in the teeth. It's a 1.2k. Nothing to really laugh at. The next one is Rapport. There are certain rapports that give gold. Now, that is very, very important, and there is a list of it on Maxroll. I assume, I gotta say right now, you should probably go to Maxroll to see the list of rapports that give gold, and look for the ones that are quickest. There's a few on Panuka that are very quick, there are a few on Feiton that are very quick, and you can get a quick 600, 200, 800 gold either way if you really need just a little bit of boost of gold. And I did all of this early on, to get the memory transfers going for my alts. Next up is the rifts, and a lot of people seem to ignore this overall as the rifts. So in the rifts, you generate 280 rift pieces at the max eye level from the North Vern Chaos Gate, okay? So you generate 280, there are 8 chances to enter a rift, okay? Basically, this is assuming that you take the rift before reset and after reset, okay? So there's a certain day where you can take 2, then 1, because they're on the same day, then 1, then 1 again, and then 1, 2, because the next day doesn't have it. And then towards the end of the week, you can take another one, both, before and after reset, which makes 8. Now, you get 290 rift pieces at a minimum per week, which is 2,320. Now, with these rift pieces, you can go to the map exchange in North Vern, Rohandel, which is both tier 1, and get a legendary map. And if you get a legendary map, well, you basically, so probably about 2.4, not 2.4k at this point, probably about 1.3k, 1.4k, which is very, very good per map. Because tier 1 gives 8 Harmony Shard pouches, gives some Stars Breaths, which is a bit of pocket change, and pretty much you can get 2.4k if they're all legendary. Now, it can be epic and it can be blue, and those go down in value. Now, the main thing here is the guild and a community that you need to have is that you can find maps to do people with, okay? And that's very, very, very important to do these tier 1 maps at a certain time or when can you get them, basically, as well. Next up, you can do tier 2 maps. You know how I said we had 2,320? Well, after you spend 250 and 375 on the rohandel maps, you still got about like 1.6k left over. Well, you can spend those on the yorn map, which is 625, 1,650 by the way, left over, And if you get legendary, the life shard pouches sell for a bit more. They sell for about 300. So you get about 2.4k out of that. Then you get a feiton one, which is 1050, and you get life shards there, another 2.3k. So pretty much you can generate about 6.6k gold just from the shard pouches from rifts alone. Also, it can be a bit buggy, by the way, guys, where you can only get 6 instead of 8. And I have that bug. It's annoying as hell. But, you know, the Moon's Breath and Star Breaths, they also add on a bit more, probably about 1k gold at max for all of them. But those are things you gotta look at as well. Make sure you do your Chaos Gates, okay? Because they generate a lot of gold for you, as well as the dungeons and stuff like that. Like, it dwarfs them. Now, the World Boss. The World Boss doesn't generate much gold. It's just the lucky loot drops. You can sometimes get gold engraving books from them as well. If you get a grudge, it's, you know, off to the market. You can also get some purple ones as well. You can also get some Stone of Chaos, which you can sell for a bit as well if you're doing Thunder Wings. But, you know, that's pretty much it. Next up is Cube. Cube, you want to get max level 1, okay? Which gives you the maximum chance of getting a legendary engraving book, okay? You can get any legendary engraving book, and also you can get some extra support honing mats, but you can't sell those. Not to mention as well, with the maps as well, especially if you're doing tier 3 maps, I forgot to add this on as well. If you are doing tier 3 maps, you also get good honing support materials, which you can sell on the AH, and also get honor shard pouches, which you can also sell on the AH as well. Make sure you are doing tier 3, the highest rifts that you can, because the rift pieces that you get higher and higher and higher for each tier. So you want to be doing, let's just go through rifts again. I know, you know, I could put this as timestamp. You want to be totally in the top rift, okay? You get 28 per mini boss, so make sure you tag them all in the rifts, okay? And then you get 150 at the end. So there's 5 bosses, 150, donezo, okay? The last boss gets 150. Just remember that. Make sure you tag every single mini boss with a big ability, do enough damage, and make sure you're doing the maximum. If you're doing the lower ones and get a lower map, you get less rift pieces, and in the end, you may not be able to afford the legendary maps at the end. That's why you do the maximum ones to get 2 tier 1s and 2 tier 2s. And like I said, back to the cube again. Pretty much with the cube is that legendary engraving books. Okay, you can get some gold from the treasure rooms, but mostly it's silver. Get the gold engraving books, they'll make you a lot of money as well. Okay, that's pretty much it. You know, depending on the gold engraving book that you get. Anyways, guys, I know this was just me talking to a camera. Like, you know, I can't give you any good examples at the moment. It'll take me a long time to do that. And, you know, great videos are made because of it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll put the timestamps on this as well. Hope you guys have a great day. And like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys.